Hi, welcome to Story Time with Gigi. Today we're going to be reading a story about Benjamin Franklin, one of our founding fathers, written by David A. Adler and John and Alexandra Wallner. Benjamin Franklin was born in Boston, Massachusetts on January 17th, 1706. Massachusetts was then one of the 13 American colonies that belonged to England. There were 17 Franklin children. Benjamin's father hoped that Benjamin, the 10th and the youngest son, would grow up to be a minister. And I guess that's him. Oops. Goodness. Benjamin always had lots of ideas. When he was still a young boy, he invented swimming paddles that will fit over his hands and helped him swim faster. Always thinking. Benjamin began school when he was 8 years old. He had good handwriting and was an excellent reader, but he did poorly in arithmetic. Benjamin's father did not have enough money to keep him in school. When Benjamin was 10, he began to work in his father's soap and candle shop. Benjamin cut wicks, poured hot wax into candle molds, and did errands. He hated the smell of the wax and the boiling soap. He hated making candles. Benjamin wrote poetry. He loved books and reading, so when he was 12, his father put Benjamin to work in a print shop. The printer and owner of the shop was James Franklin, Benjamin's older brother. James Franklin printed one of the first newspapers in America, called the New England Courant. Benjamin set type and ran the press. He also wrote clever articles for the newspaper. He signed them Mistress Silence Dogood, so no one would know who wrote them. James was angry when he found out that his brother was Silence Dogood. He refused to print any more of the articles. Now, setting the print, or setting the type, is they grabbed each individual letter and put them next to each other to spell the words. That took a lot of time. A lot of time. When Benjamin was 17, he left his brother's shop. He went to New York City and then to Philadelphia, where he worked in a print shop. Soon after Benjamin arrived in Philadelphia, he met Deborah Reed, and they were married in 1730. Benjamin had 3 children, William, Francis, and Sarah. In 1728, when Benjamin was 22, he set up his own print shop and published a newspaper, the Pennsylvania Gazette. Benjamin worked hard. He became the official printer of Pennsylvania. Later, he became the official printer for New Jersey, Delaware, and Maryland, too. Once a year, beginning in 1732, Benjamin printed Poor Richard's Almanac, and you can still get copies of it. At the time, it was the most popular almanac in America. It had information on the weather, recipes, and a calendar of important dates. He also had stories and wise saying, including, "Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise," and "Haste makes waste." Have you heard of those expressions before? Benjamin Franklin had worked hard since he was a boy, In 1748, at the age of 42, he was a rich man. He retired from the printing business. He spent his time in public service inventing and experimenting. Benjamin Franklin helped set up Philadelphia's first fire and police departments. He helped to start the first lending library and the first hospital in America. He was made postmaster of Philadelphia and later postmaster of all 13 American colonies. Benjamin Franklin invented the Franklin stove. It saved fuel and heated a room better than a fireplace. He invented bifocal glasses and a long arm to reach books on high shelves. He also invented the lightning rod that saved many homes from fires. Benjamin Franklin was very interested in electricity. In one dangerous experiment, he flew a kite in a thunderstorm. When lightning struck the kite, sparks flew from a key attached to the string. Benjamin had proved that lightning is electricity. I don't think he was smiling the way they have him there. In 1765, Benjamin went to England. He spoke at the English House of Commons against the Stamp Act, a tax which the American colonists felt was unfair. Franklin helped to convince the English to end the tax. Benjamin Franklin remained in England for 10 years. He told the English king and his advisors to give people in the 13 colonies more rights and freedom, but the king refused. Benjamin Franklin returned to the colonies in 1775, soon after the beginning of the American Revolution. He was at the Second Continental Congress and was chosen to help write the Declaration of Independence. In 1776, Benjamin Franklin traveled to France to ask the French people to help America in its fight for independence. The French people liked Benjamin's clever stories. They honored him as a great scientist, and the French King Louis XIV agreed to send money and weapons to America. Or is that Louis XVI? Might be Louis XVI. America won its independence, and Benjamin Franklin helped write the peace treaty with England. Benjamin Franklin returned to Philadelphia in 1785. He was an American hero. When his ship was about to dock, cannons were fired in his honor. Bells were rung, and a crowd waited to greet him. So there's his ship. Oops. There's his ship. And there's the cannons. Two years later, in 1787, a constitution was being written to govern the new United States. Benjamin Franklin was the oldest delegate to the Constitutional Convention. He was 81 years old. In his final years, Benjamin Franklin wrote his autobiography. He also spoke out against slavery and worked to outlaw it. Benjamin Franklin died on April 17, 1790, at the age of 84. When Benjamin Franklin wrote his will, he called himself Benjamin Franklin Printer, but people all over the world knew him as more than a printer. They knew him also as a writer, scientist, inventor, and statesman. They knew him as Benjamin Franklin, Great American. And these are important dates. That's our story. I hope you liked it. Make sure you like and subscribe and share with your friends. Also, please note, this author, by David Adler, has written many, many books. You can see, and they're all historical books on important people. So you can check them out. I hope you enjoyed the story today. Bye until next time.